If you're looking for some small and unique accents to add around your build, this Red Rock Amber LED Hood tie-down lighting kit will be one to look into for your 2021 or newer Ford Bronco. While the accent lighting on these is small, it's definitely going to be noticeable, making your Bronco more of a head turner compared to the average front-end auxiliary light if you would rather have a more subtle choice and a unique one at that. Now, it's also just a good-looking mod, especially the Amber, if you prefer that sporty off-road styling that the Amber naturally brings to the table, while also being a very easy and pretty affordable way to add it into your build. Now, Amber lighting is super popular because of the off-road and sporty look that they have, and these are going to add that into your build in a not so common location, setting your build apart from the rest and being higher up and easier to spot. Now, while being easier to notice for styling purposes, in addition to other Amber lighting that you have, this is also going to serve as a great safety mod. Now, Amber lighting is known to be seen much better than white lighting in inclement and poor conditions, and helping you, the driver, see a little bit better depending on the light. So adding these in is only going to make your ride a bit more content, knowing your Bronco is going to stand out, not only for style, but to keep you safer. Now, these will maintain a factory style design and function to the T, being a direct replacement for your hood tie down, so you can still use this while also adding that light. Now, these are going to be made of a steel construction, being sturdy and durable, and they're going to have a black powder coat finish on top to resist any weathering or rusting on the metal underneath. Now, the only big difference here is the large clear lens contouring down the front of the latch, which is going to house those Amber LEDs. Now, when the lights are off, these aren't super noticeable. They do add a very subtle chrome or clear appearance to the latch, but when they're on, the bright LEDs are going to shine right through very well with the high output construction. Now, the LEDs, thanks to just the quality and the nature of an LED, is going to be very long lasting thanks to the low energy draw, so you can also enjoy these on your build looking good for years to come. Now, as you can see, these do have a plug and play wiring harness. Very minimal wiring is included, but honestly, this is going to be completely plug and play. This harness is going to intercept your headlight harness, so there's really not much wiring to it. Very easy install, and we'll get to that in just a second. Now, this set here and everything on the table is going to cost you about $225. Now, compared to other Amber accent lighting options, these are going to be pretty moderately priced, pricier than most universal small grill lights, but for good reason, considering that these are on a well-built factory component and built right in, not just an add-on. Now, these are also going to be affordable compared to ditch lights or headlights with Amber lighting included, and will be much more subtle if you only want touches of Amber, putting these at a perfect middle ground if affordable, unique, and stylish is what you're looking for your build. Install will be a super easy 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about 30 minutes or so to get the job done. Like I said, it's very easy. This is a plug and play. I wouldn't even really consider it wiring. You will have to do a little bit of cleanup and tucking to make sure that everything's out of the way, but these are just gonna plug right into your headlights and bolt into the factory location. Now, at this point, we can head over to our shop and check out a detailed breakdown on our Bronco so you can get these onto yours at home. So that is gonna wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get into the install.
Tools required for this install include a ratchet, a Phillips head screwdriver, and a 10mm socket. What's up, guys? Today we're installing some hood tie-down lighting on our Bronco, so let's get started. So now we're gonna have to remove our full factory tie-down here. We have a 10mm bolt and then 2 10mm nuts on these studs. These two might be a little bit hard to see. So we'll get a shallow 10mm socket to pop these out. Then with all of that removed, we can just pull straight up and remove this and do the same thing on the other side. So now we can install our new hood tie down. We have a wire that I'm gonna run right through this gap behind the headlight. We're gonna run it down towards our fender liner. We're gonna pop out a few screws so that we can connect up our harness. Now we have 3 bolts that are gonna be going here, here, and through the top here. It's gonna be replacing the studs and nuts on the front too. So now I'm feeding that wire back behind the headlight. And then we can line this up and get our new bolts. We'll get one through the top here. And then we have our 2 towards the front. And then we'll grab our 10mm socket and tighten these down. And then do that same thing on the other side. So now we can come down into our fender well and remove a couple of these screw clips to gain access to our headlight connector. We have the splitter harness that we're gonna be plugging into our headlight connector, and then we can use one of these 3 white connectors to plug into our tie-down lighting. So I'm gonna get a Phillips head screwdriver. I'm gonna hold the outside of this clip and then unscrew the inner portion. You don't want a lot of pressure on here because you can push it right back in. And then you can pull that out. Do the same thing down here. And then with those pulled out, we can pull back on our fender liner. And that's going to give us access to the back of our headlight. It's going to be hard to see on camera, but you're just going to pull out your headlight connector from up there, just like that. And then we can find the connector for our tie-down lighting. This one also might be a little bit hard to see, but I've got it right up here behind the headlight connector. So I'll take one of these white connectors and plug it into the tie-down lighting, just like that. And then we'll reach up and plug that splitter harness into the back of the headlight. Push it in until you get that click. And then you're just plugging your factory body harness connector into the other side of that splitter. And then you'll just tuck that back out of the way, get your fender liner back in place, and reinstall your 2 clips. And then repeat that process for the other side. Now, depending on the trim level of your Bronco, you may have to use this fuse tap harness. Now this is going to plug into the fuse box, and there's a bullet connector on one side. The side with the fuse box is going to go toward the driver's side. The bullet connector is going to connect to the other harness that's running over to the passenger side. So you'll just connect those up, run it cleanly across the top of the engine bay. I usually like to go on this wire harness across the top of the radiator because it keeps everything nice and neat and tied into the factory wire routing. Now once you get to the other side and down to your hood tie down, you would have one side here that would connect into the tie down and the other side which would connect into the headlight splitter harness. So if this is the case for you, we're going to pop open the fuse box here and I'll show you exactly which fuse to remove and where to put your fuse tab. So now we can press in the 3 tabs on our fuse box cover. Pop that off. And now the spot we're going to go with our fuse tap is going to be right next to this 15 amp fuse here. It's going to be right here. There's usually a 10 amp fuse here. We don't have that on our Bronco. The headlight splitter powers up our hood tie downs, so we won't have to use this. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the Red Rock LED hood tie-down lighting in amber for your 2021 and newer Bronco. Thank you for watching, and for all things Bronco, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.